Happy holidays, guys. Welcome to the last scary Sunday of the year. So, today's video is about self doubt and feeling unsure about the direction you're going in, feeling unsure about which route to choose. So, as I'm sure many of you guys have been doing, as it's the end of the year, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on this past year and thinking about what my goals are for next year, thinking about what I want to focus on next year, what I want to accomplish, what I want to contribute, and going through a lot of different exercises to kind of clarify that in my mind. And I got to be honest, like the last week or so of really reflecting on this has been super overwhelming. Like I've been feeling really unsure about my path, really unsure about what is worth spending time on, unsure about my motivations, like unsure about my reasons why, the audience that I'm serving. Just like a lot of self-doubt, a lot of thoughts like, well, what's the point of making music? Like, how do I monetize this in a way that is sustainable, that can actually build wealth over the long term? Because being an artist is hard. It's just, it's not like other business models where there's like necessarily like a straight path drawn out for you. So yeah, I've just been experiencing a lot of self-doubt and a lot of, to be honest, just kind of like almost like a feeling of overwhelm. And in a way it's a blessing because, the feeling of overwhelm is symptomatic of the amount of options that I have, the amount of choices that I have. Like I recognize the inherent, what's the word? The inherent privilege in being able to have the choice to even think about these kinds of questions. And it reminds me of a book by, I forget the guy's name, Barry something. It's called The Paradox of Choice. Actually, I have no idea if his name is Barry. Yeah, I don't know what but yeah. The book is called The Paradox of Choice, and it's just basically about how having more choices creates more anxiety because you just get stuck in analysis paralysis and you can't actually just commit to a decision. And in many ways, that's how I feel because there's so many different things that I'm passionate about. There's so many different things that give me a sense of joy and fulfillment, and that I sincerely believe help the world, whether it's through music or like my podcast that I'm doing or the events that I throw. But at the same time, there's a lot of doubt around like how I can scale these to impact like millions of people, not just, people in my local community or thousands of people on Spotify or whatever, but like how can I impact millions of people? And, wondering if that's even important, like to do that. Is it enough to change one person's life? For me, that doesn't inherently feel satisfying for some reason or the other, which is like its whole other topic, diving into the pathology of why that is. But long story short is I've just been feeling a lot of overwhelm, and the point of this video is just to kind of share that with you guys and let you know that if you've been feeling that as well, especially at this time of year when people kind of have time to reflect, maybe you're at home with your family and you're thinking about your New Year's resolutions or what you're trying to manifest in 2022. I just want you guys to know that for me it's been a little bit tough, like just trying to figure out what the right path forward is. And I don't know if I have like an actionable solution for it right now, other than to make this video and just like get it off my chest and hopefully let you guys know if you're feeling something similar that you're not alone. But B, what I do think is really helpful that I'm trying to practice, and it's ironic because it's not really something that you do, it's something that you undo more so, is just surrender to the uncertainty, surrender to the self-doubt, allow it to fully permeate and wash over you, and allow yourself to really be in that space of not knowing. And rather than trying to force the answer, right? Like rather than trying to like use your mental monkey mind to rationalize, like, which I am really good at doing. I can do that all day, but the point is like that can only get you so far. And just to really surrender into admitting and accepting, like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's next. Like, I have some ideas. I have some things that I know I'm going to continue to do, like make music and work on my podcast and all these things and keep making these videos. But I don't really know, like, I don't have a clear sense of that purpose right now, crystallized. And just to allow yourself to admit that. And I think that taking that step then creates the space and freedom for something that is deeper than what you can figure out with your analytical mind to arise. But the first step is kind of like first surrendering into that unknown. And it reminds me of a quote that my Zen meditation teacher used to, one of my teachers used to tell me, which was, little doubt, little awakening. Great doubt, great awakening. Which is like a very Zen thing to say. It's like very like esoteric and it's like a koan, but essentially it's, you know, just saying that the more fear and doubt that one experiences, the more that is an evidence that there's something there that you really care about, and there's something there on the other side that will provide that piercing clarity and purpose if you can just allow yourself to surrender to the doubt beforehand. And you know, for me, I feel like I'm dancing around it. Like I know that there's a lot of things that are important to me, but I just haven't quite nailed it. Like I haven't quite crystallized exactly what it is, and maybe I never will. Like I think to some degree that's just a process, but I'm really practicing trying to just surrender to not knowing. Whereas in the past, right, like not even that long ago, even like 6 months ago, I would have that wouldn't be acceptable for my ego. Like I feel like I need to know like what's going on, especially like in our society. I think sometimes, like especially in self-development circles and stuff, you always have this pressure to like, you got to know yourself, you got to know your purpose and be on your purpose. And I think it's just important for people to talk about not always knowing exactly what's next or what's happening, and allowing yourself to just live in that doubt without it affecting your sense of like self-worth or who you are as a person. And I think that is the gateway to then realizing that whisper, that deeper whisper of a purpose that's coming from a quieter place than your chattering mind. So if I could prescribe an action step to anybody, to myself and anyone who's watching the video who can relate, I would just say to sit with yourself in silence and see what comes up that isn't a result of this, which is so influenced by all of that out there. So I hope this video was helpful, and wishing you guys a very happy holiday. Hope everyone's resting and feeling at peace and feeling excited for the new year. And I'll see you guys next year. Peace.